Hey, it's Raven Tactical here. Just another kind of quick news update. So, when I was saying things like the mass shootings are going to become like the driving force of policy change, well, look what happened recently. About a day or two ago, they put in the news that a teenager in Ohio, who could be 19, 20, had 20 guns, 10,000 rounds of ammunition. He seemed to be very antagonistic, according to them, towards police and all this. He seemed to be very upset or angry. Well, they used kind of this preemptive strike because he made media threats on his media page. And I'm not sure entirely what that means because they didn't really actually show what he said. But, I mean, granted, yeah, if you make a verbal or direct threat, I can see it. But, I mean, being angry doesn't mean necessarily you should have your rights stripped away from you. So the kid was arrested. They stripped all his guns. They vilified him in the media. They made him to, one of the other people that hold an arsenal of guns and whatnot. Just now, actually, redact that to the back what I was saying about the guy from Ohio. They're going to use that as a perfect example, and they're going to grandstand on it as how using social media and checking social media and using the red flag law worked, or using red flag preemptive strike works. And they're going to use that as an example. Now, I believe it's in Philadelphia recently, today, they had a shooting when the police went to serve a warrant. There happened to be a shootout, and according to the statistic, or according to what I read, there's hundreds of rounds flying and both back and forth, and I guess several cops got shot, which is terrible. Nobody really should get shot or killed. But you're going to see worse. You're going to see something that's even worse than this. Because why? Because now the Kingsmen have been killed, which I get it. When a policeman officer puts his line on duty, it's sad. But they're going to use this as another reason, and it puts a divide between the police and you. So the police look at you as a target, or they look at you as basically the enemy instead of just a citizen. And it creates that divide. Well, it also creates another divide that the police will push for. You're going to have police who push for you not owning a gun, because why should you have a gun? They should be the ones with guns because they're trained. So expect that to come through. With the news and the media right now, there is no stopping it at this point. There's nothing going to stop this thing right now. It's a rolling wrecking ball. You're going to see universal backgrounds check, which is basically universal registration. And you're going to see an assault weapons ban come through. And guess what? With universal background registration, they're going to know who has the guns. And here's the real kicker, right? Everybody wants to talk about how there's millions of guns in circulation in the United States. Well, when that gun becomes a felony, are you going to have the majority of the people that own them? Are they going to risk losing their house, their family, their wife, their job, their kids to go spend 10 years in a federal prison, or just turn it in? Because you can no longer shoot it, right? You can't go to the range. You can't go to here. You pretty much either have to bury it or you have to turn it in. You can't shoot them anymore, because if anybody catches you, takes a picture of it, boom, you get 10 years. You can't say you sold it, because universal background check basically would prevent you from selling it legally. If you sell it without that, you just committed a felony there. Yeah, I think you're screwed. I think this coming pending issue with the Second Amendment collapsing is going to be the biggest issue of 2019 as we roll into the next year. Right now, I would say if you don't have what you need now, you're kind of screwed, but you really need to stock up. You need to get something. If you don't have a firearm at all, legally go and buy one. Buy something. If it means that you have to do it, you have to get something that maybe isn't the greatest. Like, let's say there's a reason why High Point's popular. Not the greatest, but a gun is better than no gun. I mean, Taurus makes a lot of entry-level guns for $200. Ruger makes a bunch of entries for around $200. Even Smith & Wesson, you can get a lot of used ones. Glock, too, as well. A lot of their used police trade-ins are under $300. I mean, you need to start having something for defense. You can currently, right now, build an AR-15 from Palmetto for right around $400, and it is so simple to assemble the lower that it literally could take you, the first time you go through it might take you an hour with some basic tools. So, I mean, now's the time. I would say there is no turning back because, as they put it, they got bipartisan support, which means both sides are corrupt, both sides are going to push for gun control. There's nobody on the right that's going to push for not pushing for it. There's nobody defending the Second Amendment, and they don't care. So, please, I really encourage any of my viewers. We just hit 200 as well, so that's awesome. But I encourage you all to get armed, get ready, and stand guard, stand your ground for it. I encourage you to write to Congress and stuff, but I mean, truly, if they cared, I think it would work. But try it anyways. It doesn't hurt to write a letter. It takes a couple of minutes. Sign it, send it. Write to the president, sure. Sign it, send it. I mean, the founders did all the things legally before they, declared their war, Revolutionary War. So the founders went through, wrote letters, wrote things, wrote everything before they declared their independence. So you got to try that route first. This isn't a call to arms, and this isn't meant to panic you, but you really need to pay attention to what's going on. So I hope this reaches you all. It's going to be posted in the morning tomorrow around 6 to 6:30. So just stand by and continue watching and pay attention to what's going on in the news. Listen to several news sources. Don't just listen to one. You'll get more honest news because all they do is want to sell you something. Anyways, it's out. Raven Tactical out. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and stay frosty out there.